Good morning. I'm in the kitchen today. I am getting ready to bake bread. I bake bread once a week. The kind of bread that I make is just a regular Pullman loaf. I will link the recipe after I finish the video because this is going to be done in steps. So I will be coming back and returning. The link is from the Chicago Tribune, and it is their Pullman bread recipe. Now, the bread is baked in a Pullman loaf pan. This is a great loaf pan if you want even and precise slices of bread. It's great for sandwich making. It's great for toasting. It's great for cutting into quarters and serving little pâtés or serving with crudités or appetizers. The reason that I started baking bread at home is because my husband is French and he is very, very fussy about his bread. If we don't get it in France, then to him, it's not real bread. I have actually witnessed the people in Wegmans running away from us when we approach the bread area because his reasoning is, why do we buy bread here? The bread is not good as in France. What is the matter? Is it the water? Is it the people who are baking? What is the matter? Why can't you find a decent baguette in this country? And don't tell me about those artisanal people. They do not know what they are doing because the bread never turns out okay. So I just figured, you know what? Screw it, man. I'm making my own. So I have the recipe in this KitchenAid barrel. I have 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Now the recipe calls for bread flour, but I use all-purpose and it turns out fine. There's 2 3/4, I believe, or 3 tablespoons of butter that I cut up, and 1 tablespoon of sugar, along with 1 and I put 3/4 teaspoons of kosher salt in here. I will attach this to my KitchenAid and I will start blending it in a while. But first, hold on, don't go anywhere. I'm still here. First, I sprinkled 1 3/4 teaspoons of yeast. This is the yeast that I used, into a little Pyrex bowl. Now I will add 1/4 cup of water, and the water will be warm, okay? It's not going to be like really hot as to kill the yeast, but it is going to be pretty warm. Okay, so I pour that in, and then I need to take 1 tablespoon of sugar, and I will sprinkle that over, give it a little stir, and I am going to let this sit on the counter for 7 minutes until it gets nice and foamy, okay? I'll be right back. Hi, I'm back. I just want to touch on a few things. I have here my dough hook. This is what I'm going to use to mix the dough, okay? Here we go. Here's my little KitchenAid. I'm going to turn the timer off because the yeast is nice and foamy. Here's the yeast. See? Oof, thank God I didn't spill that. Okay, I'm going to pour the yeast in. I'm going to turn my KitchenAid on low. And then once the dough starts to adhere, I'm going to add 1 cup of water. The water is warm. Hold on there. All right, I'm going to add 1 cup of water. Now the recipe calls for 1 1/4 cups. You know, it's really hard for me to find my center here. Anyway, the recipe calls for 1 1/4 cups of water. It depends on the weather. I might only need 1 cup today. I don't know, maybe a little more. You kind of have to give it a good feel to see how it is. All right? But the other thing is, we're empty nesters. And just because we're empty nesters doesn't mean that we can't treat ourselves to a good home-cooked meal. I think people need to start cooking a little bit more at home. After this, I'm going to our farmer's market. I'm going to pick up 2 Cornish hens for dinner tomorrow night. I'm going to cut them down the middle, and I'm going to serve them roasted with a rosemary cognac cherry sauce. I might do a video tomorrow. I don't know, depending on what people would like to see. So, anyway, let me get back to this, and I will be back after the flour mixture gets nice and doughy. Don't go away.